a lot of times there's an intentional desire for the policy to do something, and it rarely does what you think.
Yes.
And Silicon Valley has definitely benefited from some accidental huge successes, and the Immigration Naturalization Act of 1965 is one of those.
It's one of those, yeah. And that was, that was intended as a piece of legislation that was kind of just a finishing touch on the Civil Rights Act, sort of. So what the U.S. instituted in the 1920s was a pretty strict quota system that was based on nationality, that was explicitly designed to keep Southern and Eastern Europeans out, because they were the people, the un-American types that were stealing jobs. Back then, that was the groups that were being marginalized. And so Lyndon Johnson signs it in 1965 and is like, we've just passed the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, and this is un-American to have these discriminatory immigration system. And then he says, as he's signing it, this is not a revolutionary bill. Like, he's trying to, all the Southern segregationists in Congress are, of course, being like, lots of Africans are going to come here. And he's trying to keep them tamped down. And then it creates this, a modern immigration system that allows, in the case of tech, what's been particularly generative is these flows of immigrants from East and South Asia that become the engineering backbone of the Valley, that become, at a disproportionate rate, founders of companies. By the 1980s, 1/3 of the companies founded in the Valley were founded by people who were born in either India or China, which is stunning. And then you have other immigrants on top of that, and children of immigrants and children of refugees. So that free movement of people and capital, including people who are not, maybe when they come in, are not already the skilled workers, it's terrifically important. Andy Grove, who's up there with he was the one who was just wearing the bad turtleneck and not the tie. He was a teenage immigrant from Hungary who, in the 1940s, I'm sure the immigration officer who processed his paperwork at the border was like, oh, well, he's going to be a ward of the state. This kid doesn't speak English. He's got big glasses. He's weird looking. He's, from Hungary. All right, well, humanitarianism. Okay, bring him in. And he's Andy Grove. So I think this recognizing the interconnectedness of these things is incredibly important. I think it's important. Tech industry has provided really important leadership on immigration and been a powerful voice. I think recognizing that it's also not just the people who are the skilled immigrants, the people who are going to come in and work in tech companies immediately, but also more broadly, this kind of philosophical openness has been really generative for innovation.